What was the psychological impact of the Tet Offensive on us soldiers who fought in it? Have you ever wondered how a single event can change the lives of those who lived through it? The Tet Offensive in early 1968 was one such moment for United States soldiers in Vietnam. This major military campaign, launched by North Vietnamese and Viet Cong forces, had a profound effect on the mental state of American troops. While the offensive was ultimately a military setback for the enemy, it delivered a significant psychological blow to the soldiers and the nation. Before Tet, many soldiers believed the war was nearing a successful conclusion. The surprise and scale of the attacks shattered that belief. The offensive struck cities and military bases across South Vietnam, including the United States Embassy in Saigon. This created a sense of vulnerability and uncertainty among troops. Soldiers who thought they were engaged in controlled operations suddenly found themselves in intense urban combat, which was both unfamiliar and mentally taxing. The psychological impact was immediate. Soldiers experienced heightened stress, fear, and anxiety. The unpredictability of the enemy's reach, combined with the brutal nature of the fighting, led to combat fatigue and emotional exhaustion. Many soldiers struggled with the trauma of close-quarters battles, witnessing death and destruction that challenged their resilience. Moreover, the Tet Offensive damaged soldiers' trust in official reports and leadership. The United States government and military had portrayed the war as going well. The offensive revealed that the enemy was far stronger than anyone had acknowledged. This gap between reality and official statements fostered feelings of disillusionment and betrayal, weighing heavily on soldiers' morale. On a deeper psychological level, many veterans of the Tet Offensive experienced symptoms consistent with what is now recognized as post-traumatic stress disorder. These symptoms included nightmares, flashbacks, hypervigilance, and difficulties reintegrating into civilian life after returning home. The trauma was compounded by a lack of understanding and support for mental health issues at the time, leaving many to suffer in silence. From the perspective of the 1960s, the Tet Offensive marked a stark moment when the optimism of early United States involvement in Vietnam was deeply shaken. Soldiers who fought in Tet faced the harsh realities of a complex and controversial war, contrasting sharply with the hopeful spirit of the early 1960s. Their psychological struggles reflected a broader national crisis of confidence and a painful transition from idealism to skepticism about the war effort. In practical terms, the psychological impact of Tet highlighted the urgent need for better mental health support for combat veterans. It influenced military and public attitudes toward the war, contributing to growing anti-war sentiment and calls for policy change under President Lyndon B. Johnson's administration. The legacy of Tet's psychological effects serves as a reminder of the human cost of or beyond the battlefield.